Hello students, today I want us to look at a new type for storing data called list. Okay, so far the types that we have looked at, let me create a new file here, so I call this lists.py. Okay, so again, block comments, triple single quotes, you create a block comment. So we've looked at these types, right? We started with the integer and float. All these we're calling them numbers. Then we went to strings. Okay, so I'll also give an example. E.g., if you just say gen, that's a string. Here e.g. will be 1.2, that's a float. 1, that is a 1, 2, those are integers. Okay, and then those are the three types that we have looked at, I think, by now. Okay, so we'd like to introduce now a list to this a type called list. Okay, it's very closely related to a string. So let me tell you, if you had a team of 5 players and you have to store their names, you'll have to maybe do something like player 1 is John, player 2 equals to Jen, player 3 equals to Jean, player 4 equals to Jack. Okay, and player 5 equals to Jill. So you can see that there's a problem here. We're having to write so many variables here to just store this. And you'll also see the other advantages of using a list instead of doing this, because things will be stored if you want to keep an order. If you're saying, you know, that this player is playing numbers 1, number 2, number 3, you want to keep that order, or you want to rank them, you have to have a way of keeping these things in one place. So a list is a container that stores many things. So a list can store strings, can store integers, can store other lists. Okay, so here, instead of this, the best way would be to just say players. Okay, and this is how you construct a list. A list, you use those square brackets, you open and close, but because of this IDE, it closes for me, so that's okay. And then you can put in, so instead of that, whatever I did, you can do this instead. John, Jen, okay, Jean, Jack, and Jill. Okay, so this is much better. This is a better way. Basically, we use lists. So as you can see, a list is just the way you have a list of shopping lists, any list of things. So that's how you want to store your things. Okay, so I'll save this, and I want to get into the REPL, and we want to interrogate this list a little bit. Okay, open the terminal or view terminal. I just use a shortcut, but you can use view terminal. So on the terminal part here, I'll get into Python. So I type Python, I get into the shell, and now I just copy paste this. Let me just take this, copy, and then paste here. Okay, so I have players, so I can type players, and you can see players that was John, Jill, up to Jill. Okay, so you can print just the list of players by just saying print players, and it will just print sort of like it's basically format for you, this list. But if I wanted to print only the first player, I say print. So this is how we call indexing, and I think we mentioned it in the strings class, but for now, so I'll repeat it. So we use, it's 0 based. So in computers, most of the time you'll see a lot of counting from 0 rather than 1. So this is how we count. We start from this is John is 0. Jane is 1, Jean is 2, Jack is 3, Jill is 4. So we are talking of, if I wanted to get John, I'll say players 0. Okay, that's how I print John. Okay, players 0. If I wanted to get who, wanted to get Jean, that would be players. What's your guess? Players 2. Okay, that gets me Jean. The last player, print players 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4. Okay. The other ways of getting the last player, but I don't want to get into those, but just know for now, you can get specific things in that list using what you call, this is a subscript, okay? What you call this specific subscript or the index. So that index 0, at index 4, at index 2, that's how you get the specific things from the list, okay?